Several months later. 2,000 years later.
Yep, it's only been a second and I got a haircut. I mean, at least it's not as bad as Mr. Who's the Boss. Are you seeing it is?
Well, at least he has like $1 million house, and each of the rooms is
Okay, that's a fair point. You can stop there now. So yeah, today we are gonna talk about the Doomsday casting announcement. And I know I didn't have to get all fancy for this video, but whenever I see people do cringe intros for fun, I have always wanted to do them, but nothing really strikes me so far. But now it just hit to me that I should, for fun, do whatever RDJ did. And also my suits have been gathering dust, so might as well wear them for something, you know. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this video play in the background while I'm talking. It's been out there for 3 weeks. That's actually a lot of time. A lot of the cast members for Doomsday has been revealed. Running through the names here, there's Thor, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, so part of the Fantastic Four. Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, the new Captain America. Sebastian Stan as Bucky, the Winter Soldier, also Thunderbolt now. Letitia Wright as Shuri, the new Black Panther. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Kurt Russell as US Agent, also part of the Thunderbolts. Tenoch Huerta, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his name more. Yvonne Moss Backrack, the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Florence Pugh, Natasha's sister, as Black Widow. Kelsey Grammer, the Beast from the Marvel's post-credit scene. Lewis Pullman, Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie. Danny Ramirez, Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four. David Harbour as Red Guardian Thunderbolts. Winston Duke as M'Baku, also the King of Wakanda now. Hannah John Carmen, Ghost from the Thunderbolts. Tom Hiddleston as Loki, of course. Patrick Stewart, Professor X. Ian McKellen, Magneto. Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler. Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. James Marsden as Cyclops, and Channing Tatum as Gambit probably. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So yeah, there's many X-Men in the cast, and I didn't expect many of the names here to be announced by now. Like the Thunderbolts, I didn't even think they were in the movie because they're just the knockoff Avengers fighting the world's biggest threat in the Thunderbolts movie, and we don't even know how that will go down. There is a handful of X-Men already announced in an announcement teaser. Gambit wasn't part of the original X-Men. The others are. Deadpool and Wolverine did have that deleted footage of Gambit where you can see a Doctor Strange portal open up in front of him, but you can see it in his eyes and the lighting, but they don't show the portal, but it's obvious that there's a portal there, so he probably escaped the void. This is like probably half of the cast that they're gonna announce by the time the movie comes. Okay, so during CinemaCon, Kevin Feige was there on a live video call, and he said that the 5 major teams that are gonna be fighting Doom in Doomsday is gonna be the Avengers, obviously. Then we have the X-Men and the Thunderbolts. Then we have the Fantastic Four, obviously. The last team would be the Wakandans. And I'm kind of shocked to see him specify the Wakandans as a team, which tells me that Shuri is not part of the new Avengers. So Shuri, Namor and Baku are going to be part of the Wakandans. So there's only 3 people announced so far, but of course we are going to have Dora Milaje, Okoye and all of them, the soldiers, and then we are going to have the Midnight Angels that we saw in Wakanda Forever. So moving on to the Thunderbolts here, I realized that Taskmaster's name is not in the cast list, and I think at this point it's not even surprising. She is going to be dying 10 minutes into the movie because she has not been part of most of the promotions. I don't know how the Thunderbolts fit into the Doomsday slate, but I guess Sentry could be a very powerful being to aid them in a battle against Doom, so it's understandable for him to be part of the movie, but I don't see how his team members fit into that movie. Then the new Avengers, we saw Sam talking about setting up a new team at the end of Brave New World.
I want you, Captain America, to help me rebuild the Avengers.
He's probably gonna have Spider-Man in there because people still remember Spider-Man, they just don't remember Peter Parker. And then Doctor Strange. Then we have Loki.
I assure you, brother, the sun will shine on us again.
I guess the sun did shine on him because he is back. Obviously, he is the god of the multiverse now, so he was going to be part of the movie. I was just unsure if they were going to do it, and they did it. Hopefully, the opening sequence isn't just RDJ killing him and taking over the multiverse, because that's what they did at the start of Infinity War. they killed Loki. I don't want to see him die again as part of the first scene of part 1 of the grand finale of a saga. That would be cliche. The last member in this movie is obviously Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, probably a Tony variant, because the Russo brothers did confirm, I talked about it in this video, they did confirm that Robert Downey Jr.'s death in Endgame will directly tie into his arrival as Doom in Doomsday. There are some obvious people missing here and I want to talk about them. There's a list where I'm happy that their names are not here, and there's a list where I'm sad that their names aren't here. So for the good side, I think Hayley Atwell's name not being here is a good thing, but there have been rumors recently that she will be part of Doomsday. That sucks. But I do not want to see her as Captain Carter. As Agent Carter, that's fine, but not as Captain Carter, please. Then Eternals are not here. They are like godlike beings, so I do not want to see them here, and also they need much more development until they meet the Avengers or something. So this movie is already jam-packed with characters. There's going to be variants as well, so it's kind of good not to include more characters when there's already a huge cast list. And another name I'm happy to not see here, even though I loved his show, it's Moon Knight. But the reason I'm happy he's not here is because his fellow teammates from the comics aren't in the MCU yet, like Blade, Ghost Rider, the Midnight Suns basically. They are not here yet, so I wouldn't want him to stick out. It's good not to see him here. Anyways, I don't even know how his powers would play out with the other Avengers, because he's this avatar of an ancient god and he has 3 personalities. It's going to take a while for every single Avenger to get used to it. Maybe they should bring him into a smaller movie first, like a movie that is similar to the level of Civil War or Age of Ultron. Then they let some of the characters interact with him, then they bring him on to a bigger movie where everyone in the MCU will be there. Then they could have some funny moments here and there where people think that he is Steven and then they talk nicely, and then Jake Lockley just comes in and swears at them or something. So that would be interesting, but I don't think it's the right time yet. And the last person I'm happy not to see here is Emilia Clarke, because I don't even have to say, you guys know why. But I did see someone bring up a theory on Reddit. They said that she is the key to showing how powerful Doom actually is, and I think that could work. That's like the only circumstance where I want to see her in there, because she's technically the most powerful person, because she has the power of most of the Avengers who fought during Endgame. So she's quite powerful. So I would much rather see Doom kill her to show how powerful he actually is rather than killing Loki. Okay, moving on to some characters that are not here that I'm actually quite surprised and sad about is, first of all, Star-Lord and the Guardians, because we saw Star-Lord in the concept art and he was with Wong leading the new Avengers. Then there was also the other concept art where he was with White Vision, so that's probably for Vision Quest. So he's around, and I mean, Guardians 3 literally ended with a big title card saying the legendary Star-Lord will return, and he's on Earth, so why wouldn't he return? The Guardians are not here. A new Guardians team was set up at the end of Guardians 3, and honestly that movie was like a ending to the Guardians for this saga. So I'm okay with not seeing them again until the next saga, but it just doesn't make sense for the Guardians of the Galaxy to not be there when the galaxy is in danger. So it doesn't make sense for the plot of the MCU. But another person I'm surprised not to see here is the Hulk. Of course, we saw him, She-Hulk, training his cousin, and then he has son now, so that is something. And also in the concept art, we did see him in this place called Greentown, which is part of Battleworld in the comics, and it's basically a place where all the Hulks from different universes live. We saw his son, She-Hulk, and him in that concept art, but Mark Ruffalo's name is not in this thing, so that is weird. Another name, Spider-Man, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it, because Brand New Day is going to be a street level movie, and towards the end they're probably going to connect it with Doomsday. In the comics, Secret Wars is the book where he got the Venom symbiote, so that's what they're planning to do in the MCU as well. So he's definitely in Secret Wars. It's just a matter of whether he is in Doomsday or not. Another person is Wanda. Technically she has died in the MCU, but no one's believing it because we never saw her die. They just show the place collapsing. She probably survived, and it's kind of obvious at this point. I'm surprised not to see her name there. Another 2 names, to be honest, if they don't appear in this movie, I won't be surprised, because they are R-rated characters, and those 2 characters are gonna be Deadpool and Wolverine. After the 3rd movie, I feel like since Deadpool has experience with the multiverse as well, they are gonna be crucial for this movie, and he's also from the universe that the original X-Men are in. If Doomsday is just going to be a movie about that universe colliding with our main 616 universe, I feel like Deadpool has to be there, and Wolverine as well. So again, some other names would be the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, Cassie Lang, Valkyrie, Nick Fury. Okay, Nick Fury might not be in the movie. I would totally understand why. But then White Vision and Wanda's kids, as part of the Young Avengers as well, because we saw both of them in the concept art as well. And some other big names in the Avengers that are not here is Rhodey, and after Secret Invasion, I don't know how they're going to deal with whatever has happened with that character. So I don't know if they're even going to include him in this movie, but they have to, because RDJ is back as Doom. He has to see that face. That's his best friend right there. So I don't know if they're just going to disclude him from the movie. That would suck. Then another name would be Captain Marvel. Photon isn't here as well. So she's supposed to be in this movie, definitely, because she's in the X-Men universe now after whatever happened in the Marvels movie. Another name I'm surprised not to see here is Hawkeye. I don't know, after Hawkeye season 1, isn't season 2 in the works as well? So I don't know where he went. He was like fighting Kingpin. He thought Kingpin died, and now Kingpin is the mayor of New York and he's not doing anything about it. I don't know. And then last 3 characters that I'm surprised not to see here would be Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Wong. Wong was also with Star-Lord leading the new Avengers in the concept art, so maybe he's not going to be working with Doctor Strange in the movie, but Doctor Strange and America Chavez, both of them are like the only characters who can travel the multiverse, so it seems like a no-brainer to include them. Benedict Cumberbatch initially said he's not part of the movie, then he said he is, and now his name isn't here. I don't know what he's doing. We previously saw him go with Clear to explore the Dark Dimension, then we don't know what happened after that. Clear was talking about fixing incursions or something.
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
You literally have an incursion coming to your planet and you're not going to do anything about it? I don't know what's going on. And also another concept art for Doom revealed that Cherry Strange is also going to be part of the movie. It's basically a Doctor Strange variant that is going to be the right-hand man of Doom, and he's going to be leading this Doctor Strange Council. Even if he doesn't appear as Doctor Strange, he's probably appearing as Cherry Strange. That might explain why Benedict Cumberbatch initially said he's not part of the movie, because Doctor Strange is not part of the movie, but he's going to be coming back as a variant. So before I end off the video, there's also another thing that I have to talk about, is that Marvel has confirmed there's more to come. So if you see this post here, it's the exact same video that I showed from YouTube. Robert Downey Jr., this is the official Marvel account, Marvel Studios, and Robert Downey Jr. replied, "That's what you call a deep bench of talent." Actually, it's more like a row, but an extra long one. That must be it, right? And then in the replies, there's 1,000 here, so it's kind of hard for me to look for it. But I have a screenshot over here by Film Buzzer, and you can see that Marvel Studios has replied that there's always room for more. Some other stuff about this casting announcement. I don't know if you guys watched the 5-hour stream, but in the 5-hour stream, when they showed Paul Rudd's chair, you actually didn't see anything. They had to pan down, and then they showed a smaller chair, because Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. That's what I did at the start of this video as well. So yeah, and then another Easter egg would be, if you see Joseph Quinn's chair is here, and he is Johnny Storm, who is also the Human Torch, and he lights up with fire. So yeah, you can see there's a fire perimeter, keep clear sign right beside Johnny Storm's chair. For Tom Hiddleston, you can see there's this row of wires behind, and it signifies him holding the multiverse tree. Here's a photo of him there. And that will be it. I don't think there's any other Easter eggs, but that's Robert Downey Jr. Peace.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?